everybody, this is RJ with Wolfhead Gaming, here to show you guys some Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I hope you guys watched and enjoyed our first video series for Metal Gear Ground Zeroes. If you guys did, I hope you guys gave us a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. Thank you so much, you guys, for all the support that you have given us this far in just starting out. But all that aside, back to Elder Scrolls here. So I want to show you guys what the character creation of Elder Scrolls look like. I'm not going to go too in-depth into exactly what you can change in every single character, but just a general overview of everything. So once you start the game and you pick what server you're going to play in, and you create your account and everything, you basically get taken to this screen right here, which is where you can kinda see whatever random character they gave you by default. Apparently mine is a female orc. I typically don't play female characters. It's just not really my thing. I'm just gonna show you guys what the male characters look like. I'll swap back and forth for every race, so you guys can get an idea. So this is what appears to be a orc, I believe Dragon Knight, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see what class they have us under. Oh, Templar, never mind. I'll leave this under Nightblade, just so you guys can see, because that's the class that I play as. I play as a Nightblade. I've basically been a Nightblade since Morrowind, I want to say. For those of you who don't know what Morrowind is, really you should look that up. It's one of the best Elder Scrolls games out there. So anyways, I'm not going to go through the voices. It's just grunts and shouts and other weird noises that the characters make. So quickly, you guys see down here that you have alliances, as you can see, which if you've played an MMO, you know that it's pretty much, if you were playing World of Warcraft, Horde or Alliance, or, you know, Star Wars The Old Republic, we're talking Sith and Jedi, kind of things like that, you know. Now, interesting enough, all these things were locked back in the original release of this game. As you can see here, if you go to the very first one there, Daggerfall Covenant, there's going to be 3 races below that. You got your Breton, your Dark Elf, and your High Elf. Now, before the revamp and re-release of the game into consoles, you were kind of tied in to each alliance having 3 races. Once they released the game on consoles, of course, they kind of opened it up. I believe they called it the Explorers Edition, if I'm not mistaken. I have yet to see a copy of this game that is sold without it. I don't know if there is. Most places will say featuring the Explorers Edition or Special Explorers Edition, but really it's just the default version of the game. And what it means is you get a couple starting things, like a pet and a couple of other things. I believe you get you get like a little dragon frog looking thing. I'll show you guys in a later video what that thing looks like. Anyways, each of the, as you can see here, each of the 3 alliances had their own races. Now you can kind of pick and choose whatever alliance you want to go into, and then pick whatever race you want to be. Also, you can pick whatever class you want to be. You have the Dragon Knight, you have the Sorcerer, you have the Nightblade, and you have the Templar, which is really just a fancy word for tank, mage, hunter, and healer. Or rogue, if you want to call the Nightblade a rogue. It's up to you. Anyways, so they kind of tell you a little bit about what each of the alliances are. Now, different from, I guess, I'm going to use World of Warcraft because I played that religiously for many years. Since beta testing, original vanilla version, all the way up until Cataclysm, and then I told Blizzard to stop sucking money out of my life and decided to quit. And now they might bring me back in with this whole Demon Hunter thing. I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted. Anyways, alliances. Different from your standard MMO, where the quests, the starting areas, everything is just a little bit different. Each one of these alliances have a vastly different, I guess, quests. One will focus more on a certain thing than the other. So really, if you want to kind of experience all there is to experience, you kind of have to play 3 different alliances. And given that they give you 4 choices for character classes, and inside those classes you can kind of play whichever way you want, very much like Skyrim, you're not tied down to whatever skill you they tell you is best. So if you want to play a mage, but you want to dual wield daggers, or you want to use a giant 2-handed axe, you can. They're not going to bind you down to a sword or a staff. So anyways, you really do need to play every single one of these alliances to kind of get an idea. Now, it's been sitting here on Daggerfall Covenant. Hope you guys had a moment to read that. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the Aldmeri Dominion so you can get an idea of what that is. Also, as you guys know, I'm not going to read these things. You can usually pause the video and just read it if you're that interested in it. And there we go, the Ebonheart Pact. Now, my main character, which I've already built, I'm not going to show you guys me going through it. Like I said, it's very, very tedious to watch someone go through these things. My main character is a Wood Elf Nightblade, and I'll show you guys that in a later video. So, onto the races here. I'll start out over here from the very, I guess we'll start from here since the Orc's already selected. You have the Orc, and you'll see there what the racial skills or, I guess, bonuses that they gain are. And really, it does help, but overall, it's going to be how you play the game that's going to define your character, not so much what his starting skills are. It's not, for some reason in Elder Scrolls it doesn't play that heavy of a role, as opposed to other MMOs. You also have, I guess I'll go down the row here for what the Ebonheart Pact originally had. So you had your Orcs, you had your Argonians, which is our reptile buddies here. A lot of people seem to be big fans of the Argonians, and I just could never get into it. You know, they had the whole breathing underwater thing, and that's cool, but I don't know. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. I guess it's the tail. The tail kind of gets to me. Not a fan of it. Looks weird. Anyways, oh, by the way, you guys can see here in the bottom that you can kind of see what they look like with veteran gear. I'll leave it, I'll cycle through most of them. I'll try to leave it off, though, you guys can get an idea of what the characters actually look like, their physique will look like. Anyways, Khajiit, I really like the idea of the Khajiit, because, you know, they're supposed to be these hippie, like, Indian tribe, essentially, of, like, wanderers. And if you guys have played the other Elder Scrolls, it's just a lot of fun hearing them talk about moon sugar, which, if you guys remember what that is, it's essentially a drug. Anyways, I figured I would love these characters. I've never been able to play as them. Again, it might be the tail and the whole furry thing. It's just weird. Can't do it. And again, you guys can take a look at the side there if you want to pause it and read exactly what each of these characters are supposed to or which benefit each race will give them. Redguard, again, not really one of my favorites to play as. I think I've played as a Redguard in Oblivion. One of my characters might have been a Redguard. Then you move into the Nord, which everyone knows because of Skyrim. You guys must be super used to seeing these guys running around. And oh, by the way, the height thing, as you guys will notice, look how tall this Nord is. Once I switch to Wood Elf, you'll see the whole height difference. There you go. And one thing that I will say is that when you're playing first person in this game, it does look very, very, it's very noticeable, the height difference between the characters. You have, over here you have Breton, Dark Elves, and lastly, High Elves. Another thing that you guys should probably know is that most of the hairstyles all really look the same. There isn't too much of a difference between one hairstyle and the other. I mean, in between races. Of course, the hairstyles all are different. I mean, when you go from a Dark Elf hairstyle to a Nord or a Khajiit, they almost all have the same basic hairstyles. I'm showing you guys the difference right here on what the veteran gear looks like for all the different races. And what you will notice when you actually get in the game is, don't these guys remind you of the Unsullied? Real quick, just look at this helmet. You guys watch Game of Thrones, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, most of the crafting that you do will be bound to your specific race. So obviously my Wood Elf character, if he is to craft high level gear, it's gonna look something along the lines of this. Which, if you look at it, this helmet totally looks like Shredder's helmet from the old Ninja Turtles cartoons and movies, not the new one, because that was garbage. Yeah, they're pretty much bound to that specific style. So if you want to craft orc armor, you have to learn how to craft orc armor. And you will get specific gemstones or, I guess, augmentation for each armor set that is specific to a certain race. So a orc armor set has their own specific augments. You have your Argonians, again, showing you guys the armors. And lastly, I'll show you the Khajiit. And their armor just looks really funny. Doesn't it just seem funny, the little ear hole things there? That's just funny. Alright. Lastly, as you guys see here, you do have your classes. Again, you have Dragon Knight. And you guys will see how different each one looks on the character as we switch also the classes. Templar and back to Nightblade. So I'm gonna show you guys just really quickly what the character customization looks like, and just so you can get an idea, I guess I'll go with Nord or Dark Elf, just for the hell of it. Very much like Skyrim, you can do a lot of tweaking to these characters. As you can see, you can make him quite big, not necessarily fat. I don't think they really allow you to make him fat. Make him thin. You'll have just like a stick of a knight of Dark Elf there. And you can have the muscular warrior body build. Anyways, you can play around with their height, and they do get taller. But you won't be able to have a Wood Elf, let's say, the size of a Breton or the size of a Nord. They do limit that. So even like the highest Wood Elf won't be as tall as a Breton or a Night Elf or a Dark Elf or any of the races. They do try to limit the heights to keep it realistic. You're gonna have your skin color options, as you can see here. Make them darker, make them lighter. They have a whole range of these things, so you can really make your character unique, just like you could in the original Elder Scrolls games, you know. Body markings, let me take off the their clothes again so you guys can see. Not a big fan of this stuff. As you can see, they kind of give you anything from nothing to having a couple little markings to veins and all kinds of stuff. The scars I really like. I think it kind of adds more of a roleplayness to the character. I always try to give my character a couple scars. I just think it looks cool. So yeah, you'll have your different war paint and stuff like that, and these things you do kind of get some different ones from depending on what race you go with. Let me take these things off. There we go. I'm not going to show you guys too much about the slider stuff, but you can see what it does here. It's just really messing with the size of the character's body. Chest size, gut, waist. For those of you who do play female characters, you can make some pretty ridiculous female characters, as I've seen in this game. Hand size, I keep hearing complaints that the characters have really weird small hands, and I don't know, I feel like even the smaller ones, they're still pretty well proportioned. Hip size, as you guys can see here. Like I was saying, you guys can do some weird stuff with these characters. Leg size and all that. Just remember, guys, that even after you build your character, you know, and you're done with whatever you think looks good like this, remember to swap on the gear, because every now and then when you actually put gear on, he might just look strange. There'll be something off about it. So head type also you can kind of tweak around. You will be able to get more of a customizable feel on once we go over to the next one. As you can see, you can do the age and all that, and you can do head adornments. So it's any I mean, sorry, not head adornment, but just the facial and stuff like that. I think women have the head adornment stuff where they get kind of like tiaras and stuff like that. Like I said, the hairstyles, they're pretty much the same hairstyles for every race. I have yet to see a specific hairstyle for a specific race of character. Hair color will range from all the crazy colors they always have. You do have your head markings. You guys can see here. Again, the scars I like. It makes it look cool. Something like that. So you give your character a story. You have all the different things you can really do to your character here. As you can see, ear size, make them bigger, make them smaller. Yeah, there's a lot of funny things you can do with your characters. Let me show you guys. See, look at that. Look at those giant ears. It's ridiculous. See, this is almost borderline World of Warcraft ears right here. And then you have more stuff like eye color, eye size. You have your eye angles and all that stuff. You guys can see there's a lot of options when it comes to making your character. I'm going to show you guys real quick what the randomization look like so you can get a better idea. Look at that. That's just horrifying. They kind of look like Darth Maul. Kinda, right? Also, when you guys do the the randomization, stuff like that, if you guys do want to have like a certain thing that you really like, for example, say you want his mouth height to be all the way up, you can actually lock down a couple of the values like that. You just right click your right analog button and it will lock it. That way when you do randomize, they will keep whatever thing is locked to that. So yeah, as you guys can see, there's a ton of stuff you can make with these characters. There's just a ton of weird things, or you can make them as cool as you want them to be. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. I will come back, as you guys can see here. Here's my character. He's only level 3. I finished the main campaign with him, or the main intro, I'm sorry, just to kind of get some gear and everything, and I'll be showing you guys how I'm gonna play him and all that stuff in the next video. Also, if you guys do want me to do specific things, if you want to see just the main campaign, or maybe you want to see side quests, or you want to see dungeons, or you want to see me and a couple of my buddies running around and being complete idiots in this game, leave a comment. I'll see what I can do. I'll try to get you guys what you want to see. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Stick around. We're gonna have more playthroughs of ESO. Well, we're actually gonna have a playthrough, since all I did in this one is show you guys how to make a character or what the options are. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.